Hey, folks, welcome back to Rolling Start, the American F1 podcast. What a weekend we have had in Japan. Aston Martin is so bad that Sundays have just become their new practice sessions. Piastri finally finishes a race and takes a podium to boot. Max says the new formula is anti-driving and is strongly considering leaving F1.
Big weekend.
But first, Russell, the effervescent George Russell, is losing his mind because Gen Z has officially taken over F1, and Kimi Antonelli is the youngest ever F1 driver to lead the F1 Drivers' Championship. James, what is happening?
F1 let a teenager take the world title, and I'm 100% here for it.
Gen Z has just taken over. They said, we're going to take F1 too.
100%.
They've taken enough. They've taken everything, and they're also going to take F1?
There's something they've taken.
As a
everything.
millennial,
You're
I
dramatic.
am so offended by this.
Yeah. No, you're not. Yeah.
Kimmy's the real deal.
Mercedes replaced a legend with a teenager, and he's doing better than the legend did when he was there.
Okay. We got to start with Mercedes, obviously. Kimi Antonelli. Phenomenal. Toto says that he's going to protect him from all of the speculation. I feel that is unrealistic. Kimi Antonelli is leading the F1 championship. It's between him and his teammate George.
100%.
And he is taking it to George.
Exactly.
How do you protect Kimi from saying, wait a second, I'm in the driver's seat here. I could win this.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to protect him from anything.
No.
Not only can you not protect him, I don't think Antonelli wants to be protected. I think he's in a place where he's like, I've been waiting my whole life for this. In my second season, I'm the youngest driver ever to lead the world championship.
Unreal.
Don't protect me from anything. Bring it on. I want it all.
Yeah, you're an F1. Like, you 100%. Could die any weekend. There's no protecting you. Like, obviously you wear the fireproof suit and this and that, but
or
like,
break your widow ankle like Ollie Women did.
We'll get to that. If you're George Russell, what are you? What is this?
Yeah, my mind
George
is like,
Russell's
is George Russell
right
like freaking out?
Dude, George Russell. This is the status of George Russell right now. As the safety car is going around, and Kimi is leading, and George Russell is losing his mind because he pitted a lap before.
Seconds before, dude.
He's trying to control when Kimi's going to restart, and he's like, "Hey, is Kimi gonna go where we practiced?
Dude?"
And
George,
they're like, "Dude,
he's on the edge,
down.
bro. George is on the edge. You know it's bad when Toto has to come over the radio and say, "Just put your head down, George, and let's keep driving."
Dude,
like, there's only a few times, like, we never hear Toto on the radio.
The only times we do is when George is like trying to micromanage.
The only times we ever do is when he has to put his drivers in their place.
Dude, if I'm George right now, I'm seriously concerned, because here's what I think George risks this season. George risks his teenage Gen Z teammate stealing the F1 championship from him.
Yeah.
And but that's the long-term risk. At the short term, George risks losing his status as the number one driver in Mercedes. That is what George risks.
The biggest risk George has as he looks at this is not just the world title. It's his seat. Kimi's not going anywhere. He is Mercedes' golden ticket. He is their young Verstappen.
Bono's his race engineer. He is the long term.
And look at his performance, not this year alone, also last.
Mm-hmm.
He is phenomenal. He is an incredible generational talent.
He is.
And we are seeing that come to pass right now. And George has been waiting in the shadows of Lewis and in the dredges of a terrible era for Mercedes to be dominant.
Yeah.
He now has the car and evidently not the luck because it has been a rough 2 races for him.
So rough.
Rough being that he didn't finish first, which is the expectation on Mercedes.
Yeah.
And so right now, I think he's going like, dude, I could be out of a seat.
Yeah.
If this continues. Extrapolate this out. Yes, Antonelli's the first and youngest world champion from Italy in a long time.
Oh, yeah.
And also, George is going, if Mercedes boots me, who am I going to go win a world championship with?
Dude, can I give you a scenario that's an NBA equivalent?
Oh, I love
it's
scenarios.
Not quite apples to apples, but I think it's as close as we can get. So, as we all know, and as any friend of the show knows, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. And I love to talk me some Cleveland basketball. Kyrie Irving was Cleveland's front man on their basketball team. He came in after LeBron had left the first time to Miami.
Yep.
And LeBron goes to Miami. He goes to the finals 4 times in a row. He wins 2 of them. He's batting 500. Not bad, right? Well, then there's rumors he wants to come back to the Cavs. And Kyrie is the front man. He's their number one driver. Like, right? He's like, wait, no, this is my team. And everyone knows, no. The moment LeBron steps back into Ohio,
100%.
the Cavs are his. He comes back, and the Cavs are his team. Now, Kyrie, obviously, phenomenal talent, but eventually he has to leave Cleveland. He goes somewhere else because the Cavs are LeBron's team. Now, here's the thing with George. George is a Kyrie Irving. He is that number one driver until someone like a LeBron shows up.
Right.
And Kimi is a generational talent. He is, if he continues to go up and to the right, like it's looking, he is going to be like a LeBron, like a Tom Brady, like a Lewis Hamilton, like a Max Verstappen. That is Kimi's trajectory. That's, some would say, his like destiny.
Yeah.
He is going to be the Mercedes number one driver.
100%.
And George has a very small window.
He is this year.
This year to prove himself that I can carry this team. I can win a driver's championship. And George knows this. So that's why everything is magnified. Today, when he misses the safety car by mere minutes or seconds,
100%.
he loses his mind because he knows I'm not going to win now. And now history's made. Me missing the safety car ensures that Kimi is going to win this race and is going to become the youngest ever F1 driver to lead a championship. George knows he cannot spare any momentum going towards Kimi.
No.
Because it's already there. The undertow's there. The energy's there. And that's why George is losing his effing mind. Because if he misses this moment, he's done.
100%.
He's done.
Yeah, Kimi Antonelli, he wins again. He also goes into a 4 to 5 week break where he has momentum at his back. And George sitting there stewing on what could have been.
Oh, we're all going to be talking about Kimi
Everyone
for the next
is going to be
5 weeks.
talking about Kimi for the next 5 weeks. And they're going to be talking about how prolific he is. I think what we're looking at with George and Kimi right now is a similar thing to what we saw with last year with Lando and Oscar. You have the driver that has been faithful to the team.
Yeah.
And then you have the driver that's new and extremely talented.
Yeah. Yeah.
George has weathered the storm with Mercedes.
He has.
And now he is in a place where he has a car underneath him.
Yeah.
And then this kid, with some luck today, goes out and has a terrible start to the race and wins by 13 seconds. And George is where? Frustrated and tossing around with a couple Ferraris.
Get past a Ferrari.
No.
Here's the thing. Kimi Antonelli is inevitable.
Yes.
He will have
Great way to put it.
his era in F1, and George risks becoming a footnote.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
I think it's interesting too. Like, I was actually surprised by Mercedes' performance today.
Yeah, say more.
Kimi got into some clean air and he finished 13 seconds ahead. Why couldn't George overtake those cars? Why was it such a struggle when that Mercedes is not at the front of the field it really seems to struggle in the dirty air and in the traffic and in the overtaking of these cars.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think right now Mercedes looks at P1 and P4. George was P4, right?
Yeah.
P1 and P4. That's not a win to them. They want P1 and 2.
Yeah.
And they have a car that deserves that.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you go to Suzuka and you put all those drivers on a track that highlights a driver's skill,
yep,
all of a sudden the cars are all in the fight again. I mean, dude, we had people overtaking in the last laps.
Oh, yeah.
Normally that's when the race is settled down.
No.
But the drivers were out there today, and I don't think Mercedes was performing as well as they wanted.
Well, I mean, case in point, we saw McLaren at the sharp point. Again, we saw Oscar jump to the front and lead really the first stint. And arguably, if there wasn't a safety car, a lot of folks are saying it was Oscar's to lose.
Yeah, it would have been.
Which
13 seconds with Kimi, even he was like, I don't know, it would have been tough.
He kept Russell behind him the entire first stint.
That's true.
So that's the piece where it's like, is it just the clean air? And is McLaren actually coming back? But yeah, I mean,
yeah, you're right. He did everything right, and he still lost.
Yeah,
the safety car did kind of steal it for him.
Yeah. I mean, so again, the only caveat I'm willing to give George is that the team did do a setup change to his car that they couldn't undo, and that's the only piece of it that potentially impacted his week. At the end of the day, though, he is going into a 5-week break, and the world is talking about his teammate.
Yeah.
And if you're George Russell, again, you cannot spare any momentum that is not on your side of the garage. You've got to claw every shred of it to convince the team, stay with me, I'm the leader. And this was a massive blow to George this weekend. Huge blow.
And what's interesting about George is that when we see he is in the zone and he's happy and the car's doing, this is the George you get. He's like throwing the microphone. Have you seen that where he kind of tosses it back and forth as he's talking to Jensen Button down at the winner's circle. Yeah. And then you get George. I like this car. I like this car. Did a really good job out there today, and everyone did a great job. This back to the people in the factory. And you're just like, okay, George. And the moment that he's in P4, the moment that he, spoofs the safety car moment unintentionally, of course, we see this George that kind of shifts. We see this emotional, and I wonder what we're going to see this year if Antonelli keeps the pressure up on him.
You know what we're going to see? We're going to see him crying again, like when he was at Williams.
We will see a lot of tears. I think you will see some tears. But more importantly, I think what I'm seeing in George is like a classic control freak. Like you mentioned it earlier. Are we going to do the practice the way that we said we were going to do it? Are we going to do the start the way that we said we would in that? Remember in the briefing yesterday?
His engineer said, George, I forget what his engineer said, but it was like, dude, Kimi's leading the race. He can start wherever he wants to.
100%.
Like he doesn't have to defer to you and start where we practice.
But he's the team leader, Ben. He's the lead driver. I think what we're seeing is that he might not be. And one thing that we know about Mercedes, they will not go back. Toto refuses to go back to the Rosberg Hamilton days. He will pick a number one driver. He will say, this is who we're backing. Toto will do it.
And George knows it.
George knows it.
And
the world knows it. He said it in Drive to Survive when they were talking about the McLarens last year. He's like, this is risk. No one should do this. It's one driver. You always end up putting your chips on one driver.
And this is the piece of it too, is Toto bet on Kimi.
Yes.
And he looks like a genius.
He does.
And literally, people are pandering to Toto at this point. They're like, oh my God, Toto, you're a genius. And it's like, I'm like, guys, come on. He saw talent and they invested in talent.
Yes.
And they fast tracked that talent.
100%.
Like anyone who has talent. You look at Major League Sports, there's moments where you just fast track people because they're operating at a level where you can do that. So Kimi got fast tracked. And Kimi was given a car that can win.
Yes.
So when you've got talent and you've got the machine, you're going to get results. But Toto looks like a genius. Kimi is leading the world championship. Yes, it is early. I get that. But to say that Toto is not sitting there thinking about who his number one driver is going to be over these next 5 weeks, we would all be stupid to assume
You're
that.
a fool.
And George can lobby all he wants. George is a control freak.
100%.
And that comes across his radio. He's not like a lot of the other drivers are emotional and they lobby hard. George isn't lobbying. He is a control freak. He tries to control the outcome. And when you hear a Toto, when you hear his race engineer pushing back, you're like, oh, if this is what is happening across Team Radio, that's public to like the hundreds of millions of us.
What's happening behind closed doors?
What's happening behind closed doors? Yeah. And Kimi doesn't come across that way. Kimmy's
just happy to be here, man.
Kimmy's just happy to be here. He's out there.
He's crying. His mom's there. His family's always there.
Dude, this guy, he's like, wait, I'm leading the world championship and I'm 19 years old. I can't even drink. They don't even put champagne in my bottle because like I'm too young to drink. Like, and I'm leading this thing. Dude, even if no other team can really compete for wins, this inter-team dynamic between like Jacob and Esau, Kimi and George is gonna be
100%.
bonkers.
I'm wondering if we're gonna see George go nuclear this season. Like if he will have some form of public meltdown, anger, whatever it is, whether we're gonna see it come out in his post-race interviews, whether there's going to be some kind of narrative and riff between him and Kimi, if this doesn't go the way that he thought it would. If the kid that he had under his wing all of a sudden is soaring above him, what is George's approach going to be?
Well, the narrative is shifted because going into this race, the narrative was George isn't going to take it easy on Kimi and George is going to like snuff him in the championship. Now the narrative is like, oh my God, like this kid's the real deal.
Kimi might be here to stay.
And Kimi's here to stay. And George is at risk.
100%.
Like, the narrative shifts so quick. So I think, what we're looking at,
you fickle fiend, you.
I think what we're looking at is them colliding on track.
Yeah,
it's you seeing this overflow of emotion and the inability to control the outcome.
Yeah,
taking place on track. And it's not like this hasn't happened before.
Right.
It's not like we haven't seen teammates go at it. Like
100%.
And for George, everything is on the line.
What's your take on McLaren? Like everyone is saying, oh, they finally figured it out. Mm-hmm. What's your I have an interesting opinion about this, but we saw obviously Oscar do P2 today.
P2, yeah.
Which is great.
Great to see him finish a race.
Exactly, which is kind of my point. Like, I don't know if we can confidently say McLaren wasn't ever there, because their first two races were smothered in pain.
Yeah. It was all these outliers, engine failure, other units of the car failing. Here's the thing.
And the first time we saw them qualify in Melbourne, they were right up there with the Ferraris.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here's the thing with McLaren. These 5 weeks are a gift to them.
100%.
They're going to develop.
Could not agree more.
Their butts off. And we know that McLaren can turn it around mid-season. Today, we'll see if it was an outlier. But I think the 5 weeks off is going to benefit McLaren and it's going to not benefit Mercedes.
Right.
Mercedes, yes, they're ahead. But you are having 5 weeks where you're not extending your advantage, and your other competitors have a chance to just focus on development, focus on upgrades, focus on bringing new bits to the car. And so McLaren, I think, will benefit. I think we'll see in Miami where they're actually at.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, today I was like, oh yeah, it's Mercedes, it's McLaren, and it's Ferrari. And we're seeing all of them interchange. We're seeing all of them fight. We're seeing what happens to a Mercedes when they get stuck in dirty air and they don't have clean air. Kimi, obviously, raced incredible. He was a beneficiary of some luck, but also he had clean air.
Yep.
And so if you put a Kimi in 6th place where he's stuck behind a Ferrari he can't get past, I don't think you would see the same result. And so I think McLaren is going to benefit from the time off.
Yeah.
And I think Miami is when we're going to really see like where they're stacking up next to Mercedes.
Yeah, to me, the narrative that McLaren is struggling, I don't think we have enough data to actually say that. Did they have a really crap start to the year? Absolutely. They didn't even participate in China. No. They had a DNF and a DNS. Like, unreal. You can't get worse. I think statistically, this is the worst post-World Championship season that any F1 world champion has ever had. Like, that's Norris's current legacy at the moment, is I won, and then I had the worst start to the season in the history of Formula One for a world champion. That sucks. But then today, you look at the race results, Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren. That's what we expect.
Yeah.
That's what we expect. Those are the top 6 drivers today.
I mean,
top 6 cars.
That's absolutely what we expect. And I think as the season progresses, we are going to see McLaren start fighting for wins. I really do believe that. I don't believe they are going to be relegated to just second or third step on the podium. And here's why. They have a Mercedes power unit.
Correct.
Right? Mercedes and Ferrari and the teams they supply are the ones at the front.
Yes.
Right now, let me throw some data at you real quick. I haven't thrown some data at you in a while.
Yeah, I'm missing your data. I'm missing your data.
So right now in the Drivers' Championship, we've got Mercedes 1 and 2, Kimi and George. Mm-hmm. We've got Ferrari 3 and 4, Chuck and Lewis. We've got another Mercedes team, McLaren, 5th and 6th. And then, would you believe it, we've got Ollie Behrman from Haas in a Ferrari power unit.
Correct.
In 7th. And then we've got Pierre Gasly, Alpine, a Mercedes power unit in 8th. And then you've got the 4 Red Bull drivers after that.
Yep.
So it is Mercedes, Ferrari, dragging their customer teams with them. And then you've got Ford in the back, just like, please help us.
Red Bull powertrains and Ford are just kind of like, I did my best.
We're trying. But
here we were thinking it was going to be the greatest thing ever. We're like, yes, Ford, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah. Ferrari's winning right now.
I think you're right. And I think what actually is interesting about that is that they're actually going into a period right now where if the FIA decides and Formula One decides that a power unit manufacturer is underpowered by a certain percentage, then they have the ability to go back, remove the lock on engine development, and improve their performance.
Oh.
And Ferrari right now, it is looking like they have made an incredible race car. And the one thing that is holding them back is their engine. And now they have the opportunity that if it is deemed that it has X amount of percent less performance than the Mercedes does, they can go back to the board and they can redo their engine. You know who cannot do that?
Mercedes,
McLaren, Alpine. They can't do it.
Williams has a Mercedes power unit, right?
Who?
Williams.
And Williams. They can't go back and add more power. They can redefine their car. Ferrari already has the car that is literally making Mercedes sweat.
Yeah.
And then you put in a more powerful engine.
Dude,
we are going to have possibly a new championship leader. The red could finally be back.
You're telling me Ferrari might actually
pull it off this year.
I'm here for it.
And
I'm here for it.
They would drag their customer teams. They would drag Haas up. Anything they can give Cadillac will be great. They will love it. They will appreciate a little bit more power.
We're go from 19th to 17th.
Exactly. We're just happy that we're beating Aston Martin, to be honest, man. And they are. So I think what we're going to see from Ferrari is, I think we're going to see this battle. For Charles and Hamilton seem quite even.
They do.
They're scrapping. They're fighting. Hamilton had a bit of a obviously poorer performance today, finishing in P6 versus Leclerc in P3. But overall, it was a good race.
Yeah. I mean, they're 8 points apart in the championship. That's nothing at this point.
Nope.
But it's evenly balanced. They're both there. They're both fighting. They're fighting clean. They're fighting hard. That's what you want to see.
Yep.
I mean, Ferrari, Fred's losing his mind, but
100%.
Like, you want to see them fighting and going at it. And that's great for the sport, and it's great for us. Quick question for you real quick.
Yep.
Who did the safety car screw over more today? Piastri or Russell?
Oh, man, that's a good question. Who did it screw over more?
Yes.
I think for the fun of drama, it screwed over Oscar more, because that's probably the person that we would be like, man, if anyone could beat the most dominant team right now, it would be Oscar, and the way that he'd been driving all weekend.
Yeah.
He seemed to just have it together through all the practices, through qualifying. He was just really on it in that car.
He was.
And Suzuka, although we saw a lot of overtaking, it isn't traditionally super easy place to overtake. And so he could have figured out a way to keep those Mercedes behind him.
Yeah.
And I think with the added idea of George wanting to really be ahead of Antonelli, there would have been some scrapping between the Mercedes. And I think that could have helped him out even more. On paper, you would say George, because he went from leading the race to losing the race.
Also the championship.
Exactly. And so theoretically, yes, it's George. But the funner one to think about is it's Oscar and a Mercedes scrapping it out the front.
Yeah, I like that. Should we go to Ferrari?
We should.
I have a thought here.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell my wife this sometimes, dream with me. I'm going to ask you to dream with me here, James.
Gosh.
So I'm going to say something that is kind of
me.
controversial, and I don't think you're going to agree with me. I'm
excited now. I'm dreaming with you, though. I'm dreaming with you, so I don't have to believe it. It's a dream.
I'm going to say that Lewis is the new Danny Rick.
Whoa.
Now, dream with me. Danny Rick at Red Bull. Max is up and coming. He sees a fight, decides to leave.
Mm-hmm.
We all know what happened to Danny Rick. We love Danny Rick. But he watched from the outside as Max won 4 championships and Red Bull ascended to the pinnacle of F1 greatness. Hamilton, he's renegotiating his contract with Toto. He knows Kimi's up and coming.
Mm-hmm.
He knows this guy's going to be coming through the team.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, if you're Toto and you can have a hammy Kimi, you're going to do it and be like, George, we like you, but I'm going to go with my 7-time and I'm going to go with the next guy up. Hamilton doesn't like the deal he's seeing and says, not staying. I'm going to bounce. I'm going to go to Ferrari. Now, here's what the similarities are. Danny Rick watched from the outside as Red Bull dominated. Hamilton now is watching from the outside as a 19-year-old in a Mercedes is going up and to the right. Now, Ferrari, they're getting podiums. Hamilton's had a podium. But unless they really turn things around and they're able to develop their engine and go back and unlock it, Hamilton is going to watch as Kimi Antonelli or George wins the world championship. Yeah. And if I'm Hamilton, I'm going to say, wait a second.
Right.
If I had just stayed, if I had thought it out, I would be chasing 8. I would be chasing the ultimate pinnacle in F1. But right now, he is looking from the outside. So my question to you is that a fair comparison?
No.
Talk to me.
I think parts of your comparison are fair. I think the idea of on the outside looking in, I don't know if I would say that Lewis was intimidated by Kimi coming up the ranks. I don't know if I would go that far.
Why did he leave?
Because he wanted to drive for Red. Everyone wants to drive for Red.
Or did
he had been at a team for years
and had dominated with them.
100%.
Dominated with them.
And chose before he retired. He's also pushing retirement. Why not go try something else? He's been with McLaren. He's been with Mercedes. He hasn't been with Red.
Fair enough.
If you want to leave your F1 career and have all 3 of the big uns, that's a pretty good way to go out.
Oh, man.
I got a world championship with McLaren. I got a lot of them with Mercedes, and I'm going to come here and hopefully get one as well. And if not, I'm going to go out by being a podium standing Ferrari winner.
So he's trying to do the LeBron James thing where he like won a final with 3 different teams.
I think that's what he's trying to do. I genuinely do. The difference between him and Danny Rick is that Lewis, even in the car last year, even as frustrated as it was, even as downtrodden and downcast and dark it was watching him, his performance was not always that far off from Chuck. It wasn't great, but he had somewhat. Go look at the overall points at the end of the year.
I'm looking
there
right
was
now.
A gap, but it wasn't wild. It wasn't like when Danny Rick was at McLaren, and it was weekend after weekend after weekend after weekend.
Pause. Yes, they were 5th and 6th. Chuck was 5th last year. Lewis was 6th, but Chuck had almost 100 points more than Lewis did. That's pretty significant.
For sure.
That's pretty significant.
But you have to take
into
consideration.
We're not talking like a Lando Max Oscar thing where there's like 13
where all
points
the rest of the points were from the entire season. All of them were there. Like
they had
Chuck had some big moments
between the three
exactly.
of them.
All of them were there. That's why that looks like that. But I'm just saying, Danny Rick was nowhere near his other teammates.
No, he struggled.
He struggled hard.
Struggled.
Hamilton this year is not struggling.
He is looking at his old team as they're dominating.
Yeah, of course.
And he's not there.
And I give you that is a thing that Danny Rick would have looked at. He would have looked at Max. He would have looked at Red Bull, and he would have gone, man, did I really make the right decision?
And he would have said, that could have been me.
Yes, but I also think the difference between Danny Rick and the difference between Lewis Hamilton could also be 7 world championships. And so, like, he's looking in from the outside going, man, that really sucks. Like, Red Bull's really coming up, and I could have been fighting with Lewis as well.
Instead of 8 race wins, I could have had 8 world champions. It's a difference.
Exactly. Like, that to me is where Hamilton is like, I think he's in this for the long game at this point. But I do think he's looking at it going, man, did I make the right decision?
I mean, because if Kimi can do it, well, let me divert here really quickly and ask a larger question. If you give, I'm gonna say this, if you give the worst F1 driver the best F1 car, will he win races?
No.
Why not?
If you give the worst F1 driver
Lance
the
Stroll,
best,
give him the best car on the grid, undeniably.
No.
Is Lance going to win a race?
No.
Why not?
You give Lance Stroll George Russell's Mercedes.
Yes.
And will he win a race?
Yes. That's
I think he'll qualify well. I don't think he'll win the race.
Why not?
Look at what happened to George today.
Look
at what George happened today.
Yes.
Kimi also arguably has more performance to look at than Lance Stroll does from his entire 2,300-year career
that should
of
say
mediocrity.
Everything we need to know about Lance Stroll's F1 career.
Man, we haven't had a Lance Stroll moment in a while.
The only time I think about Lance Stroll is when his car is being retired from the race.
Yeah, which is a lot these days.
That's the only time we see Lance Stroll.
I don't think you can say that. I think you put every car. That would be an interesting concept to put every driver in the same car and see what they could do.
Well, because look at this. Max finished behind an Alpine in Pierre Gasly. A Pierre Gasly beat Max today. And then a Kimi,
on merit.
And then a Kimi Antonelli, again, up and to the right, one of the up-and-coming F1 stars, but a 19-year-old wins. And I'm like, wait a second. Is this just some weird thing where like the car really is that big of a difference maker? And obviously F1 is a mechanical sport here. We're not talking about pitting like a LeBron James against a Michael Jordan, and it's just sheer prowess. It's mechanical. Like 100%. It's me in a car and you in a car. And if my car sucks, you're going to win. And so my thought is this just something where you give the worst F1 driver or the most unexperienced F1 driver, Kimi, the best car, he's going to win? Like, and then you give Max a crappy car, and he's gonna not be able to pass an Alpine.
There's more to it than just the car. It's like what Alex Brundle said when he interviewed him. You could stand here and you could throw a tennis ball up 1 foot in the air and catch it, and then someone says, "I'm going to give you $1 million to throw that same tennis ball 1 foot up in the air and catch it."
Yeah,
it's a lot of pressure all of a sudden. You get put in the best car on the grid with one of the most iconic teams in F1. There's a lot of pressure that Kimi Antonelli feels. So maybe someone like Lance Stroll that's never really had to feel any pressure his entire life could handle that. But for the most part, even if you were to take a Gasly and then suddenly drop him in a Mercedes, he's going, this is my moment. This is my chance. This is it. All of the pressure starts to fall on him. And so the driver makes the difference. The car makes the difference. The mentality makes the difference.
Yeah.
All of it coming together makes the difference. I do think if you were to give the entire grid the Mercedes of this year, then yeah, Max would probably be out front.
Yeah.
And I don't know where the rest of the drivers would be. It'd be a fun experiment.
I mean, it'd be kind of incredible. Just everyone gets the exact
but that's F2
same car.
But that's why F2 is so fun to watch because it's the exact same car. Everyone has the same wings. Everyone has the same everything. And it's pure driver.
And okay, so here's the thing about this. It feels like in other sports, there is more of a level playing field, right? Like, I'll go baseball, for example.
Yeah, like the New York Yankees have as much money as any other team. So it's an even playing field.
But what I'm saying is, I understand money is different. I understand that. But like, I'm, again, from Cleveland, and our baseball team has went to the World Series multiple times in my lifetime, and they arguably shouldn't be able to go to the World Series, right? Now, they haven't won because they always run up against a team who's got more money and AKA better players. But the idea is that you've got a glove, you've got a standardized ball, you've got a standardized bat, and you like just go onto a field and it's the same standard field, you know, as far as dimensions and all those things. And like, it is standardized and it's the best, may the best team win, right? Now, again, obviously there's so many other components to like the environment, but like in F1, that's not the case.
That's not the formula.
That's not the formula.
It's not what it's supposed to be.
But we're not seeing the best drivers win. And maybe that's the drama of it, is an Alonso can go to an Aston Martin.
But this is the story of Alonso's life, regardless of the regulations.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Alonso has constantly chosen the wrong team. And so, not constantly, he made some great choices. Great time with Ferrari, great time winning his world championships. But after that, it's a series of, even now, he is in the midst of a team that can't finish a freaking race.
Let me throw a scenario at you. So Lawrence Stroll, he tells Alonso, hey, I want you to come over. I've got some big plans for this next year. I'm going to tell you where we're at. You know Honda? Oh, yeah. The power unit that has propelled Red Bull to greatness. We're getting Honda. Yeah. Oh, my God. Hey, guess what? You know Adrian Newey? The greatest designer of all time. Yep. Guess what? We're going to get Adrian Newey, too. Oh, my God. And then guess what? You're going to have permanent nerve damage. You're not going to be able to finish a race. Sundays, you're just going to be practicing like it's a Friday. We're going to bring you in. You'll get a latte. We'll put some new tires on and say, hey, go back out there. It's been like 20 minutes, but jump back out there, Alonso.
We need more laps in.
And that is what's going to happen. 2 + 2 = -4. Like, that is literally what Alonso's reality is. Talk about the biggest gaslighting in the universe. Like, if you're Alonso, you're like, God, finally, we've got Adrian, we've got Honda, we've got this multi-million-dollar complex. I'm finally going up, and it couldn't be more of a dumpster fire train wreck than it is at Aston Martin. They are the epitome of
it's garbage.
Everything that can go wrong will go wrong.
100%.
I mean, if you're an Alonso, you got to just shake your head and say, I talk about unlucky. George Russell thinks he's unlucky. Fernando Alonso is freaking 100%. Unlucky.
Yeah, the whole team's in disarray. I mean, Adrian Newey is stepping out of the role of team principal.
It felt like a weird role for him anyway.
100%. And then maybe Jonathan Wheatley, who just stepped out of Audi for personal reasons, and then everyone is then just like, he's
100 million personal reasons.
Yeah, exactly. $100 million is the big personal reason for me. It's called money. And you're looking at the team that just, dude, how much more money are you going to throw at this thing before you realize something's not right? Something's not working.
In the hole is Lawrence Stroll right now?
Oh, I don't think he's deep in the hole at all.
But no, he's got to be losing money.
No,
hemorrhaging money.
Bro, he's got like half of all of the Saudi oil companies sponsoring his car. He's got all the money he wants.
But at the end of the day,
quadrupled. All of it ties back to, he's like something like quadrupled Aston Martin sales since they've taken this over. Like, he has made so much money solely not just on the F1 side through the partnerships, but also all of the business ventures. The dude's a genius when it comes to that.
Of course. But they are going to end in last place this year.
Yeah, if they don't pull
they are
this
going to
out,
make Z dollars this year. I mean, obviously they're going to make something, but it's going to be nothing compared
it'll be
to
bad.
what they've made in the past. Now, if you're Fernando Alonso, you can't go out like this.
No.
You have to stay.
But how much longer does he stay in? Like, how much? He's past the point of diminishing return.
Mm.
And so he's just got to go, I'm in it. I guess I'm just going to keep going. He has made it absolutely abundantly clear that he hates this regulation of car. But he also has made it abundantly clear that he just hates this car.
Yeah.
This car is not good. The engine's not working.
Mm.
It has potential.
Yeah.
But it's not.
It's and this is getting back, closing the loop here on this sports analogy. This is the piece of F1 that brings a lot of drama, and it also like is so infuriating when you see someone who is so talented. Well, I guess there are equivalents in like baseball. Like you see
Oh no, your own analogy is unraveling right in front of your eyes.
It is, but like F1 feels distinct though. It feels like you can have such incredible talent and you're never going to really see them succeed.
Yeah, but that's not true. You're not never going to know if he's going to succeed. Well, no, because Alonso's a poor example. He's already succeeded. He already has 2 world championships.
So long ago.
Yes, but he's just doing this because he loves racing. That the thing that Formula One does is it gives you a bunch of options. You choose them and you hope for the best.
Mm.
And there is a gamble of like, I mean, I really hope when Lando Norris made the decision to be at McLaren and stay at McLaren, when Mercedes was knocking on his door, when Ferrari was knocking on his door, when
Red Bull
was knocking on the door, and Norris said, no, I am staying where I'm staying. And they got worse.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden, they're winning races.
Yeah.
He's fighting Max for the title. And then the following year, he wins the title. That's the story that everyone is hoping for. But that can't be the story of everyone. It can't be the story of all 22 drivers on the grid.
We've got to have some tragedies.
We've got to have tragedies. Haas comes in and they have an incredible first season. And then they go into the biggest dip. And now they're back again.
Literally, they're beating
They're
Red
back
Bull.
again.
They're beating Red Bull. Ocon's not back.
Audi comes in and their engine looks really good.
Yeah.
They're fighting for points. Like
Crazy.
They're up there. You have
Craziness.
Red Bull, a historically dominant team, is now officially in the mid-pack.
Let's talk Red Bull.
Let's talk Red Bull.
Max Verstappen
P8.
this weekend
Oh, man.
confirms all of our worst nightmares.
Yeah.
That he is legitimately considering leaving F1 at the end of his contract, which ends this year.
Yeah.
And he says it is because these regulations are anti-driver.
Anti-driver is a hard quote.
But that's his quote. That these regulations are antithetical to the very like underpinning of what it means to be an F1 driver.
Yeah.
And here is the idea. The FIA obviously has a lot of parties they have to like keep happy, right? They've got these car manufacturers, these engine developers, they've got the drivers. At the end of the day, if you're the FIA and you lose a Max Verstappen, like, is that an option?
Yes. That is a great question. I don't know if the FIA thinks in those terms. I think they have doubled down on this. The engine manufacturers has spent hundreds of millions of dollars designing these engines. Each one of these engines is worth over $15 million each. And that's just the engine, not including all of the parts that go along with it. And so you have a hard thing to go, hey, I know you are planning on doing this for 5 years. I know you put these factories together and you've got these teams together for 5 years. We're switching to V10s again. We're doing it because we don't want to lose Maxi Poo. Like,
I mean, if
there will always be another driver to take his place.
Don't even.
Antonelli's not going anywhere.
Always going to be. Max is once in a generation.
Of course,
Lewis
he
is once in a generation.
100%.
Alonso once in a Kimi. Like, we're not talking about George Russell. We're not talking about Ocon here. We're not talking about like, these guys. We're talking about like one of your greatest ambassadors for the sport.
One of the questions you have to ask yourself is, can I still love Max Verstappen can I still love Formula One without Max Verstappen?
That is a question I've never wanted to even think about. And hearing Max's interview this weekend, I was like, oh my God, I legitimately think he's going to leave. There is another equivalent here to American sports.
Does it got something to do with Cleveland?
Michael Jordan. Chicago Bulls. Michael Jordan. Chicago Bulls.
Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan.
The front office, because of their own ego, tells the 6-time champion winning team and manager, this will be your last year. And Michael Jordan gets pushed out of the NBA by the front office of the Bulls. The greatest talent of his generation in the NBA gets pushed out of the sport. If that happens here, that's the equivalent. Max, one of the greatest talents of his generation, pushed out of the sport because of the front office of the sport. Like, that shouldn't happen in sport. Like, there's no universe in which people who are the best at what they do get pushed out of the sport. Like, that just should never, ever happen. But it does. And that's like, that feels like the cardinal sin of sports, that you as a front office, as a business, are making decisions for business interests that are pushing out the talent.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they intentionally made this decision. I don't think they intentionally
But it's the results of it.
It's the results of it, but it's different when an office sits somebody down and goes, hey, you're out, versus, hey, we've made these decisions. And then the person comes to their own decision. I don't like these decisions. I'm out.
But here's the thing.
Wait a second, because a few years ago, if we had been sitting here going, well, Lewis Hamilton, he doesn't like the porpoising. He doesn't like these ground effects cars. I don't think it's good that we have these ground effects rules. He really doesn't like this.
They were hurting the drivers. He was barely getting out of his car.
He should leave. Everyone would be like, no. You don't need to leave. Would we be saying the same thing? We need to look at rechanging these regulations. If we're going to lose Lewis Hamilton, we need to change these regulations. Then how do you guarantee any kind of evolution of the sport for the better if you don't take the risk of possibly making a mistake? At what point
do you feel like the FIA has made a mistake?
100% they made a mistake. 100%. These cars suck. They look awesome. I love that they're smaller. I love that we're seeing a ton of overtakes. But if you really do strip it back, we should not be watching Formula One only for entertainment. Right now, the sport has become exponentially more enjoyable to watch.
Yeah.
There's more action on track.
Of course.
There's more things happening. But if you look back to the beginning of a regulation change, you can get that without the driver frustration as well.
Yes.
And when you do have people like Hamilton, like Max, like Alonso, like Sainz, like Albon, like Leclerc, all making jokes about how this feels like a video game. Max sat behind freaking Pierre Gasly in an Alpine today. And the only reason why he didn't overtake him is because once he had overtaken him, he would have no battery left.
Yeah.
I didn't sign up for that.
No. And that's what Max is saying is listen, because here's the thing. The amount of effort and energy athletes put into their sport, it is a lifelong obsession.
Yes.
It takes everything. It costs everything. They miss so much of their lives
100%.
in pursuit of this obsession. And they do it because they love it.
Yes.
And that's Max's point. He's like, listen, I do this because I love it. The moment I don't love it anymore, I'm going to do something else that I love because it costs too much.
100%.
And I'm not going to spend my life doing something that no longer brings any happiness to me.
I fundamentally struggle with the idea that an entire system should change because a few people don't like it.
But if those few people are the
But now he
athletes
can go.
themselves.
No, but he can go and drive GT3 cars and have the best time of his life. And if he wants to come drive in 4 more years, when the V10s are back and it's openly aspirated and he wants to do it, then great, come on back. That's the beauty of Formula One. He could pull an Alonso, he could pull a Schumacher, he could pull a Vettel, and he could take a break and come on back. No one's saying that he can't do that. I just don't think we change the entire sport because Max Verstappen is on another kick where he's unhappy about something. That's fine. That's his right. Be unhappy.
He's not the only one, though.
Sure, Alonso can be unhappy. He's not going anywhere. He's the only one saying, I'm going to quit because of these regulations.
Max is respected because he says the thing that is true. And George, Kimi, they're not free to fully speak their minds yet.
Well,
Max has nothing to lose.
It's not even that they're just not fully able to speak their minds. They don't have what Max has. They don't have 4 world championships. Max has achieved 4 times over what he set out to do. He said that multiple times.
Yes.
He has warned all of us, all of his fans, everyone in the world, I will leave when the hell I want to leave. And you're not going to get a warning. This is the price we pay for a prodigy. They're incredible. They're amazing.
So depressing if he leaves.
But they will go one day. The dude's got more money. It's not about money. He said, I've got more money than I know what to do with. It has nothing to do with money. I don't enjoy this anymore. And that's okay. He doesn't have to. You know who is enjoying this? Is freaking Antonelli. He's loving it. You know who's enjoying it? The sold-out crowd at Suzuka. The sport is still thriving. I don't think we need to be shrouding the entire thing in Max Verstappen's emotions around whether or not he likes the overtake button.
But hang on a second. Can the sport continue to thrive when its stars leave the field?
Yes.
I don't know.
Because it's not stars, it's star. Max is a huge part of Formula One. Please don't get me wrong. He's a massive part of it. And when he leaves, it will be a hit.
A huge hit.
But the gap always is filled. Generations of drivers are represented across the field right now. But new people are finding this sport every single day, and they're getting younger and younger and younger. Our sons will remember that their dads liked Max Verstappen.
Yeah.
But they're not going to watch for Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen will be Jolyon Palmer. He'll probably be, or Nico. He'll be more like Nico Rosberg commenting. And I live for the day Max does a grid walk, like Nico Rosberg. And that day will come. I don't think he's actually going to pull the plug.
You don't think he's going to actually do it?
I think he might switch teams, but I don't think he'll pull the plug. I think if Antonelli wins this year and Russell doesn't,
he goes.
I think we could see Max at Mercedes. I don't think he wants to give it up. I think he loves I think at the end of the day, he loves the fight. And I think he underestimates, even though he said, if I was winning, it doesn't matter if I was winning or not. I think he underestimates how much he loves to win. Max winning, even after the worst of weekends and the worst of qualifieds and the worst of the race, and he wins, all of a sudden, it's like the entire world is turned upside down for him. You know the radio messages. You can play them back in your mind.
I can. Green, green grass of home.
Exactly.
Well, we shall see what Max does. The very thought of him leaving is
the question for
catastrophic for me.
The question for me is not, is the sport going to be okay? It's are you going to be okay, man?
No, I'm not.
I don't think you'll be okay.
I'm not going to be okay.
Okay. Christian Horner is coming back to the Formula One grid as the team principal of Audi. Matteo Binotto is looking for a new team principal, and that's my vote. I think it'll be Christian Horner. I tricked you. You thought it was news.
I was like, I'm clued in,
Your
dude.
face,
I was
dude.
like, dear God.
I think Horner will come back. I think Audi might hire him.
Here's the thing about Horner. Obviously, we don't need to dive into off track, all those things. We've talked about it ad nauseum. Everyone has. The thing about Horner that I respect on track is the man is a freaking bulldog.
100%.
Pit bull.
Yes.
Doesn't deal with anyone's crap.
Nope.
And the guy, when he led Red Bull, he led them to be the most dominant team
100%.
with the greatest car in F1 history.
Yes.
Like, that was him, right? And he took it to Mercedes when Mercedes was untouchable, unbeatable. And again, Christian is the guy that was at the front of the spear there.
Yes.
So I would not be surprised if he finds his way back.
100%.
So many folks have found their way back.
They've been talking with Alpine. He was trying to put together a group of people to help finance and purchase a portion of Alpine. But I think he might end up at Audi. I think it could be a good move. I think he brings a lot to the grid. And if we can justify Flavio after literally causing crashes in F1 to win
and we know
world championships and proven, I think we can handle Horner coming back.
Yeah.
I think, time heals for some people.
Yeah.
Right, wrong, or indifferent.
Yeah.
He'll be back.
Yeah. And again, like, you hope the thing that was alleged didn't happen. So far, it has been shown that maybe that was just an allegation. And again, you want to handle all that stuff, and you want to give full benefit of the doubt to everyone in those moments. It's such a painful thing to have a conversation about. But again, like, I'm not surprised if Horner comes back. I really am not. And if he comes back in his capacity as a team principal, I do think he will fight for whatever team he's leading, and he has the potential to turn teams into world champions, and we've seen that again and again. So.
Yeah. I want to talk about the midfield for a second, because this is not at all what I was expecting.
No.
Alpine, Haas, RB, Audi, and Red Bull.
Yeah.
Red Bull.
I know. Trailing a Haas and Alpine.
Alpine tied with Red Bull.
It's a little insane.
Haas is
in fourth right now.
Swinging above.
They are in fourth purely because of Behrman.
Yes.
Purely because of Behrman. Alpine is in fifth.
And Audi, honestly, low-key, is more competent than I thought they would be.
Yeah. They're in eighth. They got a couple points. I mean, Cadillac
this
and
grid
Aston
makes no sense.
No, I mean, now again, like, Mercedes obviously out in front. Ferrari's not that far behind. And then there's, again, like a significant gap to McLaren, and then a significant gap to Haas. So it's like everyone's kind of got a significant gap between each other. But this midfield with Haas at the top,
it's crazy.
Are we looking at Haas finishing in 4th this year?
Well, the better question is where's Williams?
9th with those points
from Sainz.
Yeah, Williams. I don't know what has happened to Williams.
Yes.
Now here's the interesting thing: Sainz this weekend, after the Behrman crash, was lobbying pretty hard against these regulations and saying how dangerous they are, and saying, "Listen, there was 50 G's of force that Ollie took into that crash."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Listen, that was more than my crash. I had like 46 G's. Was he a couple years ago?" And he's like, "What happens when we're on a street circuit and we don't have the kind of space that we've got at some of these more traditional tracks, right? Like, there's something that's actually not dangerous about us carrying this kind of speed into these corners." And again, commentators would say, well, teams are political and they know where their leverage is at. And in a moment right now, Williams is trying to exert whatever leverage they have.
Yeah.
They got 2 points. They're 9th.
Right.
They're not doing well. Albon is lost in the sauce and is so frustrated with the team right now. So this is kind of their 1 point to push. But do you feel like Carlos has a point? Is there something about these regs that is actually more inherently dangerous this year than?
And that's where I would draw the line in the sand. If these regulations are dangerous and we can't get them under the control, because, like, for instance, the Colapinto and Behrman instance that we're talking about here, Colapinto wasn't actually doing anything wrong.
No.
But because of the speed difference between their cars, it was about 20 kph per lap before that. It was slower in that section. But Colapinto was doing that over and over and over and over again. It was the same thing he was doing. He was letting off in that area. He was recharging. He was trying to build it all up.
Mm-hmm.
Behrman comes flying around. He's doing 45 because that's what he's doing that whole time. The speed differential these days is totally different because the tactic is totally different. Yes. Teams get to charge where they want to charge, get to build up where they want to build up, slow down where they want to slow down. So there's more jeopardy, which means that there's more margin for error and there's more moments like this. So I'm also just trying to hold the tension of the fact that we're only 3 races into the season. We don't have enough data to make any decisions. Max, I don't even feel like he has enough data to know whether or not he likes these regulations. Because what if in 6 months from now, we figured all of this out? Because that's what F1 does. They evolve and they iterate. And Max is freaking winning again. He's like, I'm never leaving F1. I just don't think we have enough data to know.
Yeah, I mean, I know we're early in the season, but the higher you get in any field, the quicker you know if something is good or not. Like you can just immediately know. And so these drivers are the best in the world. They're in the car through testing, through these first races.
Yep.
They know. It's instinctual.
Yes.
It's you know if it's good, you know if it's not. And the fact that so many drivers are being this vocal.
Yes.
And again, you could say it's the ones at the back of the pack. It's the ones who aren't winning. It's the champions who are no longer, contending.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's not just a singular driver saying these regs are either dangerous or they're terrible. It's a singular voice made up of multiple drivers saying these regs, there's a problem here.
Yeah.
So what I have heard is that they are kind of going back to the drawing board in these this 5-week break that we have, and the teams are getting to connect with the FIA and kind of rehash a few things. Again, I don't think it's going to be that significant.
No,
but Williams is in a bad place. They're hurting.
Williams is in a bad place, but they're not in a bad place because of the regulations. That's what frustrates me. They're in a bad place because all of last year they sold us a lie. They said, I'm working on my car for 2026. And then they brought a car late, fat, and unbalanced.
Yeah.
And they're blaming it on everybody else instead of looking inside and just going, man, we freaking botched this, dude.
It was a rough start.
That's what
year.
bugs me about this. And you can feel the tension from the drivers. Albon is like, well, I guess it's just how I drive. Like, no one's happy.
It's like someone's out on a date and they're mad at their partner. And they're like, oh, I guess it's my fault. I guess I'm the one with the problem.
Yes. Jimmy V has gotten to the end of his 90s corporate leadership book of how to have a happy team and a good culture. And he's like, I don't know, these steps aren't working. Something's not right. It's fallen apart. And something needs to change because I want Williams to succeed.
Of course.
The fact that Haas is in 4th and Williams is in 9th is keeping everybody up at night.
That's insane.
That team is currently suffering from insomnia. They must be working like crazy.
I mean, and again, the fact that Aston is in 11th and Haas is in 4th. Williams is in 9th. Haas is in 4th. Red Bull is in 6th. Haas, like all of these.
Yes.
It would be like the New York Yankees and the LA Dodgers and the San Francisco Giants all 100%. Of a sudden just plummeted to the worst in their divisions. And you've got all these small market teams like out in front being like, hey, we're crushing. It's like, these are the things where people start getting fired. You start just gutting your leadership and saying, clearly, you are unable to deliver what we need.
100%.
You gone, and you like. That's what starts happening the longer this insanity progresses.
Well, and you look at the team rankings right now. So you have a Mercedes engine in 1st with the team themselves, Mercedes. You have Mercedes in 3rd with McLaren. You have Alpine in 5th.
Mercedes.
Also a Mercedes engine. Then in 6th place, in 7th place is the Red Bull. Then you have a brand new engine from Audi.
Yep.
First year on the grid. And then you have Mercedes engine in Williams at the end. Friends, it's not the regulations.
It doesn't make sense.
It's you.
Williams should be, honestly, they should be in 4th.
There's no reason why Williams should not be beating Alpine right now. Absolutely no reason.
Yeah. They should be way higher than they are.
But they spoofed this car. Oh, spoofed is a weird word. But we're going to go with it.
No, we'll go with it. I mean, are Jimmy V's days numbered at Williams?
Everyone's days numbered at every team. But when you perform worse than you did the previous season, then yes, the board starts asking questions. I still think he's the right person, but these 5 weeks are a gift from God himself to this team.
To all of the teams.
He goes, let me just cancel these Saudi Arabia and Bahrain races so you guys can get your friggin' act together. Pull your finger out of your DRS flap from last season and get to work on the car.
Yeah.
It's so bad right now that they're literally three-wheeling into corners. One of the wheels is coming off of the contact of the ground as they go into corners.
Unreal.
Why? Because they weren't at friggin' testing. They are still dealing with things that teams sorted out months ago.
And this is why we can't stop watching.
I know. I love it.
Dear God.
And I want more of it. And I want to know what happens when they pull up next. Okay, so next race is Miami. It's Miami, America. F1 in America for the first time this year.
Let's go. Predictions. Bold predictions. We got 5 weeks off. What are you predicting for Miami?
Norris pole.
Oh, I like this.
You said bold.
Hey, I like this.
I think Norris is going to be on the pole, and I think Leclerc and I think Leclerc will be in second, and I believe that Antonelli will be in third.
Lando's first win was in Miami. Maybe some magic.
I'm going for nostalgia
McLaren's going to be working lights out for 5 weeks. They are going to find something. They've got the Mercedes power unit already.
We know they can do it.
They just need to adjust. This was a boost. Oscar, Lando. I think they're on podium. And then I think it's a Kimi. That's my predictions.
And
sorry,
like
Georgie Poo. You're
Georgie
sliding
Poo has
back down.
Fallen from the graces of the Rolling Start podcast. What a wonderful time chatting, Ben.
I missed this. We have to figure something out for these 5 weeks off.
Oh, we're just going to keep recording.
We just got to keep recording.
Plenty to talk about.
So much.
We'll come back and we'll talk next time about all of the things that you want to know about Liam Lawson. So we'll see. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks, folks.